Hello there, everybody. The name is Leveler Jr., and I am here with yet again Mr. Sam Worthington, aka PLUKO. I think the very first time we ever spoke was via Zoom for my birthday. I really do appreciate it so much. P.S. I really appreciate that Splint Society sweatshirt, rocking it every single day. Oh my freaking god! And now but we had that little talk right after I think one of your biggest shows, your very first headline ever in NYC, which was at the Elsewhere Hall with you, demotapes, and of course a few other special guests here and there. We had not just PLUKO, but we also had Melv, Jai Wolf, Evan Gia, Memba, Gilligan Moss. What the freak! That was kind of a pretty incredible day, but incredible night. But that was kind of closing out the second album. The second, I would say that it's a sophomore album, Colorblind, right?
Yes, yeah.
That was kind of a sophomore album, but now, thanks to where I'm right now, which is December 4th, which was the start of a brand new chapter. We're kind of like closing the book on Colorblind, but December 4th was the day where he introduced everybody to a little bit of his next album, which is already out this year, which is called Bleach. Bleach Hi-Fi. So, first of that is this. Why the name Bleach?
It's a good question. I think it started with, I just liked the word, but then I really, like the core idea of it was kind of like something that represented me starting clean, there was a point where it was called like wash, or like wash away. And then
right, because it says right here on the shirt, wash away everything.
Wash away everything, yeah. So it was like, but basically it was me kind of feeling like I was coming to like a maturity in my music, and feeling like I wanted to almost kind of wipe the slate clean in a way that is like, because when you bleach something, like my roots are growing back right now.
Right.
So the thing that you're bleaching over doesn't disappear.
Right.
But it is making a statement that, hey, I'm starting kind of fresh. So I didn't want to like discredit any of my music that came before that, but it was really just like a maturity of the sound in one word. I feel like I picked the right word.
Definitely. And I'm not seeing that trying to say I'm not trying to wipe this slate clean and forget any of my later works, because obviously in one of the songs, which is literally called, I think it was called, it was, I know this. Oh, here it is. It was, it was, I basically call it the lucky one. The lovely one 2.0. Yeah. That to me was like, okay, he's still remembering the days of Colorblind, but he's still like adding his own little twist to it, but making it still his own. But I have to ask, but again, this incredible album has been out for a few months already blowing up. I absolutely freaking love it. Death. And I can already hear the evolution of PLUKO. But the one thing that acts is this, which was kind of like itching at me for a very long time. What was it about one particular song, 1 43 seconds, which was done in a pretty ancient Microsoft language? If you guys, should I tell them the answer to it, or should I just keep it secret?
Keep going, because keep going.
It was track number 8, 1 43 seconds. It was done in a language, I think it was called Windings. That's Microsoft language. But the translation is, Bleach is the only way out, with the additional letter B. So I'm just curious to know, what is the meaning of that? Because that kind of like touched me a bit. So what is about Bleach being the only way out?
Well, first of all, I have no idea. I didn't know that. I just put wingdings in there. So I don't know how you found that out, because I didn't even know that. So if that is true, I don't know, but that's insane if that actually is what it translates. What did you use to translate that?
A wingding translator.
Maybe I took a piece of like, it probably was something from one of my notes. I copied and pasted in that to get a bunch of wingdings, but I didn't even know that. So there's the answer to your question, because it definitely doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
I just wanted that song to look like that, but that's fucking insane that you have that.
Yeah,
it was probably just copy and pasted from something in like my notes or something like that.
Okay,
that's
but
wild.
So it was just like something you just want to translate, but I was, maybe it's up to other people's interpretation. Like, what does the only way out mean when it comes to Bleach? I thought like, it made me think like, okay, maybe like all the songs that was being made ever since the beginning of PLUKO to where we are now, maybe it's like, since I'm making a lot of this music, a lot of this stuff, I'm thinking to myself, okay, let me bleach it, because maybe that's the way out to be a better part of myself, or maybe be like a more true part of myself. Maybe that's just my guess. I'm just spinning things out. Don't have to answer think of any of that. It's my interpretation.
Yeah.
I
like when people interpret the music however they like to, or whatever means the most to them. I never want to interfere with what something means to me versus whether or not what you got out of it is true or not, because none of it's wrong or right. It's just how the music certain songs that have affected me at certain periods of my life may have never been the intention of the writer of that song. May have written it for something totally different.
Right.
But we both got something out of it. So I don't think there's ever like a wrong or a right way to interpret any art, not just music.
Understood. But the one thing we can definitely say that is factual is that this album here, which I feel like, I can't talk about about Bleach without talking about the Taste EP, which also kind of was the beginning of that new chapter. I mean, 2 of the songs were put into the album. It was 3 years in the making, so you really have to think about think deeply about what you want people to know, or people really understand when it comes to the power of PLUKO, this new chapter of yourself.
Yeah, it was a lot of planning, probably too much leeway of I spelled out the name of the album with the single covers. So the Taste EP was an E, I think it was an E, but it started with Turn It Down, which was an H, and then went to Pretend, and all the way to B, which was, yep, you got them all there. Yeah, so it's spelled Bleach. And
wow.
But that took 2 years because I was still finishing the album. So it was a commitment early on that was could have shot myself in the foot, but it was a little, I'm glad I did it because it's a really cool creative idea, and I feel like I executed it the way I wanted to, but it did take a while to finish the album while I had already started that. So yeah, the music was almost 3 years in the making.
And did it also what you mentioned as well is that you had to move twice to be able to really understand the power of this album. So is it going somewhere else besides living in New York City? Was it going to other places to help give you inspiration or give you some perspective on what you want this album to truly be?
Yeah, on myself, which I mean my music is just a reflection of myself. That's why the music is so different from track to track and varying genres, and because I'm not making music for a brand or an aesthetic or anything. I'm just reflecting what I feel in my art. So for me, being in tune with how I feel and being in tune with my surroundings is the most important thing with music. So for a lot of times, yeah, a switch of location refreshes that or changes that perspective or makes something more clear in my head. And yeah, I moved some of the songs I started when I moved to New York for the first time, moved back during COVID, then moved back to New York, and then I finished the album. I had moved to LA, so I was moving to the two biggest cities in the country.
I had to feel a lot of artists would say, yeah, but my goal is to move to LA, and you did it.
Yeah, but that was never really. I mean, I guess it was a goal super early on, but it was never. It was never the goal, and I still, to be honest, like New York more than LA. I'm just there because I'm more productive there. I make music there every day, and here I was making music every day, but it was mostly just by myself. There's a lot more artists to collaborate with in LA, but they're both amazing. Both cities are great, but definitely East Coast love it for sure.
That's amazing to hear. And but walking to LA, I hope we can make a lot more work there. Of course, a lot more people are there, in LA. But I also have to give some. Speaking of other people, we have to give our love to other people out there as well. I mentioned a couple of your names. I mentioned Evan Gia, the incredible work you've done with Plastic, with you and Rio Cragen. Oh my gosh. Yeah. But of course, you also had to work with Motel 7, with Chopso, and Coach of the Friend, who is also on his own little tour as well. It's going to start in October. We can wait to experience that. I'm just curious to know, huh?
You're gonna go see Coda?
I hope I can go see Coda when he does his final tour date, which is in NYC. Amazing. Hopefully he can be there too. But I'm curious to know, what is it about some of the vocals that you chose to really highlight the beauty of Bleach? Because Plastic was pretty incredible, Kota absolutely killed it, and Mind, I don't think Mind was on the one.
I didn't make the final cut of the album, but it was a single leading into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But all these vocals that you have here that were a part of Bleach, was it important to make sure that they had a integral part in your journey as well?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was just like I want to make music with people that I creatively align with and stuff people that I listen to just as a fan of their work. So a lot of it didn't start, like Bleach really for me also wanted it, like the concept of it was deep as far as like starting over, but the content of it and the music itself, I wanted it to just be just good music that I wanted to listen to, that I enjoyed. And Colorblind was like a little bit more methodical, and it was perfectly divided in 2 halves, and there was Morse code in it and all that stuff. And this album was still a little bit of that, because I love those Easter eggs and fun stuff like that, but it was the content and like the music that was in the album was, I wanted to just make that stuff that I could listen to, and I can say now that like I'm so excited to play those songs when I'm performing versus like, oh, how do I figure out how to work this into my set, because it's a weird song. And now it's like they flow into my DJ sets and my live sets, and everybody, you know, the crowd reacts a lot better. And not that they're better songs, but they're just more like consumable, I guess, more easy to dance to and stuff like that. So yeah, the artists that I worked with were mostly just friends and people that I fucked with their art, you know.
Right, and I cannot mention Bleach. Also, I've mentioned one other song as well, April, produced by you and Demotapes. I got to mention Demotapes some ways, in some ways, we have a little bit amount of time. I am so freaking proud of Demotapes and the evolution that he has so far ever since him being in 2021 and elsewhere, and then 2 years later now, not only being a part of your album, but also opening for Drolio in a couple of dates. Demotapes, I'm so freaking proud of you ever since your debut and Create Together Volume 2, and to see you get to this point, oh my gosh, hopefully I can make some more music, because he's absolutely killing it.
He makes a lot of music. He's one of my best friends. Parker is the man. He had a very big role in the earlier stuff on Bleach, and then all the way to the end of, I mean, he was there from the day I started it to the day I finished it, so I think I said somewhere, it was like a good way he was like the godfather of Bleach.
Really?
I sent him every song. He gave me so much feedback and just really helped me. He was like the Rick Rubin of Bleach.
That is amazing. Absolutely freaking amazing. So the last question I'm going to ask is this, which is, well, we have our third album, we have Bleach Hi-Fi. Now the question I have is this: what is next for PLUKO? Because could it be maybe another album in the works? You got, you know, do a little hiatus, like to really, you know, try and find the next chapter, or what might be coming next for PLUKO?
Right now, it's just I've never done this since I was first starting making music. I'm just worrying about one song at a time. I'm making a lot of music, like I'm making a new song every day, but as far as the thing about putting music out, I'm just one song at a time until I feel like I'm ready to put an album together. So I haven't really done that. I haven't like given a chance to like spoon feed music a little slower. Just put a song out.
Right.
Wait a month and a half, put another song out versus a full album, like proper single campaign, and then drop 14 songs and expect everybody to have the patience and time to listen to the whole thing.
Right. Is that kind of the point of the whole sound exploration thing you're doing now on your IG? Yeah,
that was just like an idea I had to just get the music in front of more people, and it was like a million different iterations of things that nobody really seemed to be that interested in, and then I figured out kind of a formula that people seem to really like, and so now I'm just doing that more as a way to like reintroduce songs that are already out that I don't think had like a proper chance, and then introduce new music and new ideas. So yeah, just like a way to share that online. But no, more stuff. Just put out a song with Daniel Allen. Just put out a song with Bad Tuner. So definitely no shortage of music, but just singles is kind of the focus right now. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the singles and sound inspiration, like, you know, letting the music speak, letting it breathe.
Yep.
And that's all. And I really do appreciate that a lot. Let the music speak for itself, and hopefully the music can definitely speak tonight on this tour of Bleach Hi-Fi. We have a few more dates on the way. It's near its end, but it's a little mini tour, but it's a mini tour that I'm happy to witness yet again and just experience once more. PLUKO, thank you so much for all the work you've done. Thank you so much for the people who work for Exponent Society, all the work you've done for you guys. You all are I really appreciate you all so freaking much. And thank you guys so much for watching as well. Keep your eyes on PLUKO. You're nearing your 10-year anniversary as well. I'm keeping a day on that.
When's that?
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
When's the 10-year anniversary?
It's like we're 3 years away from it, but it was in 2016, your first song ever on Spotify, so I'm just keep the date ready. I'm hoping something big might come in that regard. But until that day, keep your eye on PLUKO. He's going places, done so much incredible work for Family Collective, for Odessa. I'm so freaking proud of you, man. Thanks so much for all that you do.
Thank you. Thanks for coming through.
You're signing out. I love you all so much, Friend Society. Peace.
Sunbell's the man. Let's go.